Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Mandy with My Trainer Mandy, holistic lifestyle fitness and nutrition coach. And I'm coming to you live right now to chat with you guys about tips to make 2017 your best year, or tips on how to make 2017 your best year. And today is part 3. So happy Thursday night. Happy new moon. In case you weren't aware, it's actually a new moon, which is phenomenal. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. So thanks so much for tuning in. Do me a favor, comment below, say hi once you jump on. Feel my love and appreciation for everyone who's here right now, who is taking, time out of your life to spend some time with me. I value and I appreciate you so much. And also, too, if it's your first time ever catching one of my live Facebook videos, comment below just so I'll know, first timer or whatnot. And then also, too, where you're tuning in from. And if you choose, you can also comment below and say hi to everyone else who's on the live video. So whether you're on right now or you're catching the replay, you can still comment below. I'll see the notifications and I'll be able to get back in touch with you, etc. But yeah, I just appreciate you guys being here. Hey, Matt, how are you? Have a happy new year. Yes, absolutely. Same to you, my friend. I definitely will have a happy new year. Have a happy day every day. Hey, Chris, and hey, Amy. Thanks for tuning in, ladies. So, you guys, today, once again, like I said, it's a new moon. So it's actually the last new moon of 2016, which is really cool. We're going to talk about some more about that here in a second. But I have a question first. Have any of you guys experienced any kind of symptoms or anything different today that you wouldn't normally experience? The reason I'm asking that question is because during a new moon is actually when, if you think about the gravitational pulls on the earth from the moon and how it even controls like the tides of the ocean, and then you realize that we're about 65 to 75% water, a lot of times we will actually experience some symptoms based on whether it's a new moon or based on whether it's a full moon. And actually they say that when it's a new moon is when our bodies are actually cleansing. Okay, so like from a physical perspective, you may have noticed that like your nose was running today, or you were sneezing, or maybe you went to the restroom a little bit more than you normally would. And then typically on a full moon is when our bodies actually hang on to everything. So it's quite the opposite. And either way, I would just like to caution you that you want to make sure that you eat light and eat well on both a new moon and a full moon. Of course, always do your best to eat well, but also eating lightly is good, and eating healthy, of course, because during a full moon, your body actually hangs on to everything. So you want to make sure you're replenishing your body, of course, with a lot of nutrients and things like that. Your body's hanging on to everything. And then during a new moon, like today, your body's actually letting go and cleansing and getting rid of things. So I personally did some stuff to support my body in cleansing. And of course, a lot of my followers, my girls in my Emotional Detox Challenge group and my clients participate in that as well. So it's good stuff. Hey, Amy, thanks for tuning in, sister. Carissa says she was a little bit of emotional. Hey, Priscilla, how are you, sister? And yeah, I appreciate you for tuning in. Also, do me a favor, go ahead and share this video. Click right now on the button, share this video to your timeline so that other people can get this information, because tonight's going to be really awesome. For sure, because it's just awesome anyway, but also because it's a new moon. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that and like what you can do right now to change the trajectory of your life heading into 2017. Donna Lynn says she was very tired or tired-like. Yeah, so I myself actually experienced some symptoms. My mom experienced some symptoms. Of course, I know my clients did. I had a couple people contacting me and things like that. So thank you so much, Carissa, for sharing the video. If you guys feel called to do so and it resonates with you, like I said, feel free to share this video to your timeline, because the more that you're sharing my videos, the more other people see my videos, and we can get this information out there. Of course, I'm a holistic lifestyle fitness and nutrition coach. I'm super passionate about teaching people how to live a holistic lifestyle, how to take care of themselves, how to take time to take care of themselves, how to mentally, control their mindset and their thoughts and what's going on, and also to enlighten people and bring awareness to the fact that we actually create our reality. So once you learn some of these very valuable mindset tools and techniques, then life can become so fun and easy and so clear. And then you kind of wonder like, wow, I wish I would have known this, before. I wish I would have known this then. But obviously everything is in divine timing and it all happens exactly in divine order how it should. And it's good stuff. So I'm here and I'm committed to empowering others to transform their life, especially with consciousness. And when I talk about consciousness, that's basically being conscious of being conscious, meaning that you're consciously aware of the thoughts that you're thinking. You're also consciously aware of your external environment as a reflection of your internal world. You learn, or you remember, let's just say, on how to look inside, right? And so if you're looking outside of yourself for validation, you know, other people's compliments or love or appreciation for you to validate you, if you're, you know, placing blame a lot of times on everybody else or circumstances or situations, then chances are you're not really taking full responsibility for your life, and maybe you don't know, okay? So like I said, that's what I'm here for. Maybe you don't know, maybe you're not aware that you actually create your life with your thoughts and your belief systems, and I'm here to empower you and let's just say enlighten you on understanding that, of course. So once again, feel my love and appreciation for all you who are on the video. Hey, Jamie, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Margaret, how are you, beauty? So you guys are amazing. And once again, happy Thursday. Oh my goodness, the dog. Tilly, come here. So my mom just left earlier to go to the Aggie basketball game, and my mom's dog, she's a little bit older than a year old, but man, she is like a little stinker. So she got her little toy over here making all kinds of racket. And she just learned recently how to jump up on the couch because she's not very big. So she just learned recently how to jump up here. So now she's running over and jumping up with her toys. So anyhow, I choose to make this fun and easy. But once again, if you feel called to do so and it resonates with you, do me a favor, share this video to your timeline. I'm all about the truth bombs. I'm all about spreading love and consciousness awareness to other people, because it's just, I believe it's just really important to know about these things. And once again, it can transform your life. And something called collective consciousness, meaning that everyone, you know, gets together and starts to have beliefs about things about our world, and it literally can shift energetically our world. So it's such an amazing thing. And I'm so blessed and so grateful to serve and to be able to share this information with others. And obviously too, I mean, my journey led me to where I am now. So everyone who's here right now, or even everyone who's watching the replay that's hearing these words and watching this video, it's all in divine timing, my friend. So you're actually meant to be here as well to actually hear these words that I'm speaking. So from one soul to another, feel my love and appreciation, and thank you for showing up. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you're new to checking out my live Facebook videos, comment. I like to know who my newbies are. And we're actually going to talk about mental, spiritual, and physical fitness. Okay, I'm going to start out with the physical fitness. I'm going to touch on a couple things for that, and then I'm going to get really hardcore into what's really the most important, and that's going to be our spiritual and our mental fitness. And the reason I'm going to save that for the last is I'm going to tie that into something having to do with the new moon, and also because I'm in a way saving the best for last. So hey, what's up, Jay Howard? How are you? Thanks for tuning in. Yes, Gig of Aggies, I appreciate you. So really quick on the physical aspects, like I was talking about a second ago, you know, did you notice anything today from the new moon, right? And realizing that we are 65 to 75% water. So whenever it's a new moon or a full moon, because of the gravitational pulls on the earth, we will experience symptoms. And I would like to bring up to you, I actually am going to post a link to this article once I finish the video. But some of you guys may have heard of this before. His name's Dr. Emoto, and he was a Japanese scientist who did some research on water crystals. And so he took some water crystals and he spoke loving, kind words and appreciation to these specific water crystals. And then he had some, or to the water, and then he had some other water that he spoke negatively towards, and hateful and angry and mean things and words. And he also, I choose to know the details of the experiment. It's been a while since I've seen the movie. It's called What the Bleep Do We Know? Down the Rabbit Hole I Go, or We Go. But I'm going to post the link, like I said, because I already found the article just a little while ago, and I want to, I choose to share that with you guys. So once again, he was a Japanese, or is a Japanese scientist, and he did this experiment where he had two different containers of water, and he even placed words on the containers as well. And, you know, then afterwards, so he took pictures, like before pictures of the water crystals and what they look like. And then after the experiment, he took after pictures, and it really is sort of, I mean, it's really phenomenal. It's really beautiful. So once again, I choose to share that information with you guys. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because, whenever you have that realization, and then you also realize that we are about 75 to 85% water, it honestly proves to you why we require controlling our thoughts and our thinking, you know, on so many levels. But you will really see this in terms of like an actual experiment that will just solidify it for you. Okay, so I'm going to share that after this, and yeah, I trust that you guys will check it out because it's phenomenal. And I remember when I actually saw the movie, it was back in the beginning of 2000. 2013. And that was another part of like what really shifted me mentally and spiritually, and my mindset, and kind of brought me along to the journey that I'm on now, which is really beautiful. So with all that being said, one of the most important things that we can do for like the physical aspects of fitness, and when I talk about physical fitness, I'm not just going to talk about working out. We're going to talk about the physicality of what we require doing to have good physical health. Okay. So the first thing is going to be more water, and then also too controlling our thoughts. And I'm kind of tying it all together, if you see what I'm doing there with the way I'm choosing to share the information with you guys. And once again, when you read the article, you will understand what it is that I'm trying to emphasize. But we require drinking water. Water, honestly, is the vehicle to remove toxins from the body. It is so, so, so important. If you don't drink enough water, then, for sure you become dehydrated. Also, anytime someone's dehydrated, in terms of consciousness, that translates into the fact that someone is not feeling their feelings. So we get to feel our feelings, guys. And if you think about like when we were kids and we were growing up, like maybe we had our parents that were like, be quiet, go to your room, or maybe you run up and you're crying and they're like, shh, be quiet, or hush up. If you think about that, how a lot of us grew up, and once again, our parents did the best that they could, their parents did the best that they could, and their parents did the best that they could. So we can be in appreciation and love and gratitude for the experiences that we've had on this earth, and realizing that we are spiritual beings, right? And so on some level, we did choose our parents, and we chose to come into this world and live in this physical human body for a purpose and a reason. Drinking water and being hydrated is really, really important. And honestly, if you're not feeling your feelings, you could be drinking as much water as possible all day long and still be dehydrated. And the reason I'm sharing that with you is because, as you guys see, there's a common theme a lot, especially on my this is my third video. I mean, the actual first and second video, as well as this one, it's all tying into the mindset and to consciousness, because if you do not get that part of it right, then you are not going to be able to move forward into the other areas of your life. So maybe you choose to know why you self-destruct or you self-sabotage or whatnot. Well, this is the reason why. And we're going to talk about that when we get to the mindset, spiritual and mental fitness of this video. But I'm just, the thing I'm really choosing to convey is that we were taught to shut everything down. So now we get to unlearn and unpractice those things. We get to feel our feelings and we let it be okay. So if you're angry about something or you're upset about something, instead of stuffing it down, because honestly, we break down energetically and emotionally before we do physically. So chances are, if you're experiencing health challenges or you have some symptoms or something going on, then chances are it's something that's really tied into an emotional, it's an experience that you have that's tied into something emotional that's causing you to physically manifest that. And when I learned that, it literally turned my health around. Okay. I was experiencing health challenges in the past. And when I learned that, when I learned how powerful my mind is, and when I learned how, I get to love that situation, I get to let that go, I get to forgive that person. And, it may be some stuff that's really, really, really deep in there, guys. It could be stuff from when you were a child, truth be told, a lot of us have trauma from when we were kids. Our parents did the best that they could, but it's just reality. We're human beings. We're emotional creatures. And chances are you have some maybe experiences that happen in your childhood that you require being okay with, being complete with, letting it go, feeling the feelings around it. And honestly, almost like going back to the experience of whatever it was that occurred and feeling it all over again, and just digging deep into that, peeling the layers back, looking at it for what it really is and going, oh, okay. And then understanding that on some level, you either created it or you allowed it. Okay. And I know this could be way out there in terms of intellectual thinking, but guys, we require getting spiritual here. We require getting out of our minds so hardcore about everything being so literal and so physical, and really getting more into the spiritual aspect of all of it. And when you can really look at the bigger, broader picture, I promise you that your life will change. Okay. If you can take yourself, fly all the way up into the sky, look down on your life and look down on yourself and look down on who you are, where you've been, what you've been through, and then you can transform it and rewrite your story into it being for your greater and highest good and expansion to bring you to your soul's purpose. I mean, right there, that whole thing just gives my body a full chills because it's such a beautiful thing to have that realization. Then you can forgive all of the things that you went through in the past or all the people or the situations and the circumstances, and you can almost pretend like it just never even happened. You can rewrite the story to be how you choose for that story to have been. Maybe you weren't brought up in a conscious family with conscious parents and, you experienced some things as we all did. But then when you get to the point where you can look at it and say, well, you know what? That was for my greater highest good. And there's a reason why I went through that. Then you can love that. You can love the situation. And then you can even rewrite it as being something completely different. Like no one says that you have to keep on playing that same old story over and over and over again. So literally like enough of the story, enough is enough. Choose to let it go so that you can once and for all transform and, have peace and joy and happiness and clarity and create your life like you really choose for it to be instead of being the victim or playing, the victim card or the blame game, where you're blaming it on everyone else of why things can't be a certain kind of way. So I'm going to get to that part even more in a minute with all the mindset stuff. But the reason I'm tying that into the water is because no matter how much water you drink, if you're suffering from dehydration, which is one of the number one things and one of the number one root causes of inflammation in the body, dis-ease in the body, symptoms in the body, illnesses, whatever, all those words you want to give it, then chances are, you require digging deep, getting some clarity, figuring out what all is functioning in there in your belief system and letting it all be okay and letting that stuff go. Okay. And then as far as like the physical part of it with drinking the water, I highly recommend that you drink at least 3 liters of water a day, if not a gallon. 3 liters in a gallon is about the same amount, just different, metric systems. So Google that if you choose, but a gallon is 128 ounces. So really no more than a gallon, but like minimum, I would say about 3 liters. And you want to make sure that you're drinking good, clean, pure, filtered water. Definitely no tap water. Seriously, like no tap water at all, because tap water is contaminated with a lot of things. So that's not what the video is about, but just definitely not tap water. Make sure you have good, clean, pure, filtered water. So that's really, really important. But I'll be doing a video later on more about water and breaking it down more specifically, but we're going to kind of just do an overview and just say, make sure you're drinking enough water. It's really, really important. One of the good and easy, fun ways to drink more water too is just by adding lemon or lime. You can even use essential oil. Like I use Young Living. Sometimes I'll drop a drop of peppermint or drop a drop of lemon or something like that to give it some flavor. You can create infused waters with like berries, cucumbers, mints, what else? Yeah, berries. Yeah, berries, cucumbers, mints, lemons, limes, things like that. Create your own little infused water so it will taste better so that you will actually, decide to drink it. And then next we're going to talk about eating real whole food. Okay. We were created to eat real whole food, not processed, fake foods with, you probably heard the term too, frankenfoods, but the foods with, artificial chemicals and flavors and preservatives. I mean, think about it. If it's created in a lab by some scientists and it's put in a box on a shelf until you, the consumer, comes along to buy it, and then you decide to eat it whenever, there is nothing in that food. It's devoid of nutrients. It's dead. It's devitalized. There's nothing there. And so essentially you eat it and it is basically eating fake food. You cannot get nutrition from that. Honestly, you can't. You can put it into your body and maybe you feel full or whatnot, but you can't get nutrition from that. So unfortunately, the reason we have such a crisis, this dog is really distracting me. Unfortunately, the reason that we have a crisis with obesity is because most people are eating foods that are of very low nutritional value and they are not feeling full. They are not feeling satisfied. They're not feeling satiated because unfortunately their body is starved of nutrients. So they eat more and more and more and more. And of course, all that stuff, and it leads to cravings, causes leaky gut, disrupts the hormones, challenges your organs. I mean, I could go on all day long. So I'm just going to go ahead and say this: eat real whole food. If it wasn't grown in the ground, didn't come off a tree, doesn't swim in the ocean, doesn't walk on land, if it's not, meat, fish, fruits, vegetables, things like that, then chances are you shouldn't be putting it into your body. So a lot of times people ask, because they want the quick fix, like, what about this protein bar? What about this? I'm like, dude, just eat a banana, eat an orange, eat some grapes. Like, go back to the old school. We don't require all that stuff. Yeah, convenience may be a good thing, but then think about, your risk versus your reward. Yeah, it may be convenient, but what are you really putting into your body? So also remember too that, like, especially raw foods, they are full of light. They are full of energy. They are full of God and nature's love, right? It's from the earth. So when you eat closer to nature, like if you're eating a lot of raw fruits and vegetables and things like that, it's going to take you levels up in your spirituality. I can tell you that right now. And especially getting into like fasting and juice fasting and water fasting and dry fasting. I've done it all. So it's really beautiful. So the more that you eat food that's closer to what nature intended for us to eat and food that's closer, to the earth, the more light you're going to be bringing into your body. And also getting out in sunlight. That's going to be the next critical thing that's important, is that we all require sunlight. If you think about our ancestors, they were out in the fields and they were working, they were out in the sun, they were moving around, they were physical, they were going to the streams or the rivers and drinking water, they were hunting for their food. Think about the modern American today who just sits around, who's on the computer, who's, the kids are playing video games, people are on their phones, most people are inside all day long under fluorescent lights, which cause, damage as well. And they're not moving. So they actually say that sitting is comparable to the new smoking. And they've done studies where they're proving that sitting for extended long periods of time actually is more detrimental to your health than if you are smoking cigarettes. So, to me, that calls for making sure that you set an alarm or something on your phone. And like every 10 minutes, or 15, maybe let's say every 15 minutes, 20 minutes, even if you work a desk job and you sit down all day long, but you get up. And if you can't maybe get up and walk around, but maybe stand up out of your chair and stretch, even do some jumping jacks, some squats, bend over, stretch your back out, but move your body around a little bit. Do some arm circles, but do something to get the blood flowing, to get the lymphatic system flowing. Our lymphatic system is actually the sewer system of the body. It requires movement and motion, okay? We have a circulatory system for our blood, and our heart beats and moves the blood throughout our body, but we don't have anything that moves our lymphatic system. That's why exercise is so critical. It's not just about, I want to go exercise so I can lose weight, or I can this, or I can lean down. It's about moving that lymph, which can become toxic sludge, and that's actually the root right there of like fibromyalgia and lupus and all those different fancy names for these diseases in the body, which really boils down to the fact that most people are overly acidic and they're deficient. They're toxic and they're deficient in nutrients, vitamins, minerals, key amino acids, these things that our bodies require. Because I actually have something that I shared with my ladies not too long ago, where it's an analogy of a fish tank. And if you think of a body like a fish tank, and you think of a body that has, or let's just say you think of a fish tank that's the water is stagnant. And there's a lot of like mold and fungus and algae and all the stuff growing in the fish tank, and the fish are dying and all that kind of stuff. It's like, what would you do? Would you try to put like just more food into that, or what would you do? And what the true answer is that you would clean it out, right? You would take the fish aquarium, you'd give it a good old cleaning, you'd pour that water out, you'd clean everything in the fish aquarium, you'd scrub everything, and then you would add fresh and anew into that. So that's kind of something that we all require doing, is to pay attention to what we're putting into our body. Make sure that we're moving our lymphatic system. Do things that support our body and naturally cleansing, so that we can move the stagnant lymphatic system, and so we can feel better. So that's another reason why it's important to move. So getting sunshine in your life, and then movement was the next one. And I was just going to say too, it doesn't have to be a gym. You don't have to have a gym membership. You don't have to do any of that stuff. Just get yourself up and get moving. In all actuality, it's amazing for us to get out in nature. That's a great time to connect spiritually, to have the sun beaming down on you, to get obviously the sunlight and all the benefits from the sunlight, as well as moving your body and moving your lymphatic system. So like I said, the next one was obviously more movement. And even if you can only get up and maybe walk like 10 minutes during your lunch break, or maybe in the evenings you take a little bit of walk, like it doesn't have to be super hardcore. Just do something though, move your body. And it's also a great time too to listen to something to grow your brain. If you're not continuing to put good stuff into your mind, then it's really hard, or challenging to stay on track, And if you take the time to, let's just put it like this as a practice, if you take the time for your physical fitness to be part of your mental and spiritual fitness, then you've already, knocked out 3 things in one. So let's just say when I lived in Florida, I love the beach. That's where I feel the most amazing spiritual connection with my creator, with my God, with my source. Insert whatever word works for you. You don't have to call it anything. Call it what works for you, right? So when I would walk the beach, I'm barefooted. So right there, I'm grounding, I'm earthing. I'm getting in touch with nature for sure. So there's tons of benefits there. The ocean is beautiful, the waxing and waning, the flow of the waves, and just hearing the waves crash, the sun's beaming down, getting the benefits of the sun, you know, looking up at the sun, acknowledging that I know that my God is acknowledging me. And it just, everything is just so beautiful about the experience. And then I would usually listen to audiobooks and stuff on my headphones with my cool little fanny pack. And, you know, I would just be taking in things that made me feel good, that raised my vibrational frequency, you know, that fed me mentally and spiritually. So you can actually, I promise you that, I mean, 2017, January 1st, we already know all the gyms are going to be crowded with people, right? Everybody's going to go get a gym membership, whether they're going to continue doing it or not, you know, but that's usually what happens. But you don't require a gym. So if that's your reasoning of maybe, you know, you don't have the money, or maybe you're embarrassed and you don't want to go to the gym, or whatever your excuse or reasoning is, guess what? You can stop with that, because all you got to do is just get up and go outside. So it doesn't matter where you live, but I highly recommend, you know, being out in nature is going to be a lot better for you than anything else. So doing that first, and then figuring out whatever else is after that, you know, is up to you. If you choose to go to the gym and all that and lift weights, that's good too. Okay, so yeah, that was basically it, more about the physical fitness. Now we're going to get hardcore more into the mental aspects of everything. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below. Of course, you guys know that I love doing this, and this little dog is just, man, she's out of control. So yeah, I'm choosing to make it fun and easy. Amy says, let Tilly play. It's not distracting. At least I don't think so. Yeah, she's just distracting me. Hey, sister, thanks for tuning in, Ashley, and hey, Christina, how are you, beauty? So anyway, next we're going to talk about, like I said, the mental, spiritual, fitness aspect of everything. And the reason why this is so important, guys, is because as we all know, that, you know, our mindset is what controls things, because we could have something on a calendar. We could have been making plans to do something specific. And if we don't feel like doing it, or we make excuses or whatever, chances are it's just not going to happen. So, I was talking about this earlier in my other live video that I did, but usually what ends up holding people back, and I talked about this yesterday too in my video where I talked about challenging your belief system. What holds people back is their belief system. And if you just start having this simple awareness and making it fun and easy, that your belief system is simply thoughts that you keep on thinking. So you do not require continuing to think those thoughts over and over again. And you actually have the power to change those thoughts, right? Because we have the power of what we think about and what we focus on. Nobody else can do that for us. So whenever we can, you know, take hold of that, take responsibility for our life, realize, as in real eyes, that we are responsible for our lives, then we get to go in there and, once again, like I said, rewrite those stories, change our thinking, and then in turn change our belief system. So that way we can actually go in the direction that we choose to create our life. So that's why I'm going to really emphasize the mindset part of it, because I don't care if it is January 1st of 2017 or 2018 or 2019. Chances are, if you're planning on going to do something and that's your New Year's resolution, but you don't have the mindset behind it, and you haven't done the work in terms of the vibrational shift and the energetic shift to really get focused and make that happen, then you probably are not going to be able to fulfill that. I'm just going to be honest and realistic. So I'm going to give an example of my own personal testimonial. Hey, Teresa, thanks for tuning in, beauty. Hey, Ann, how are you? So last year on January 9th, it's funny, I didn't even drink last year on New Year's Eve. I went out with my mom and my brother's best friend, to this place, and we were just hanging out, playing pool. It was very like low key. They had a live band out on the patio. It was fun. It was here in Bryan College Station. And then I didn't end up drinking any alcohol at all. I was just like, I wasn't in the mood or whatever. And then, of course, that New Year's Eve, you know, they do the toast, all that kind of good stuff. And I didn't even drink. But then on January 9th, I chose to go out with a friend of mine, and I actually had just way too much alcohol. And I woke up the next day and I wasn't feeling very good. And I was like, man, I really then got to question, like, I can't believe I drank that much. And what led me to like really going that overboard and drinking that much. And then I got to get clear and go, you know what? The reason that you did that is because you're really not, you know, at peace. You're not in flow. You're not joyful right now. You're just not happy about what your life is right now. And so when I got to get clear on that, I said, well, what is it I'm really choosing to create? What is it I'm really choosing to have? And I'm like, well, I really choose to have a lucrative online business where I can share my passions with others. And, you know, this is what I love to do. And I choose to go live by the beach. So those were some of my main things. So right then from that moment on, I decided that I was going to give alcohol up for at least 1 full year, because obviously I don't require alcohol to have fun. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to give that up because I can make the realization that I was using the alcohol to make me feel better, right? And I was drinking the alcohol because there was something going on that was functioning that I obviously, it wasn't, I wasn't in alignment with it. My God, didn't agree with that. And so I wasn't feeling good over it. I wasn't feeling good over all of it. So whenever I realized that, I was like, okay, well, that's a lot of self-sabotage and self-destructing behavior that I'm doing. And I choose to get to the root of it. So I did. And what I did is I just started focusing on building my online business. And then, as you see, I went to Florida and I was there for the last 3 months in St. Augustine. And it was a beautiful, beautiful experience. So, we get to really get real with ourselves and get clear because no one else can do that for us but us, right? So if we don't do that for ourselves, no one else can see, even from the outside looking in, maybe what all you have functioning or what your belief systems are. And unfortunately, let me just use an example. A lot of people have belief systems and stuff like that functioning that maybe they're not necessarily aware of. And so they keep on having certain experiences over and over and over again. They keep attracting certain kind of people or certain kind of relationships. Or, if someone says something like, every time this always happens. So if you're already affirming that it always happens, it's going to keep always happening. So that goes back into conscious language, which would be a whole nother video. But we require being really careful about what we say as well as what we think, because we create our life with our words that we speak, but we get our words that we're speaking based on the thoughts and things that we're having. So, anyone can do this for themselves. So if you start to see some sort of pattern in your life that maybe you're doing things that are self-destructive, self-sabotaging, or maybe you're attracting certain kind of people into your life, or maybe like every time you get into a relationship, you always have this certain type of experience in a relationship, whether it's like a friendship or a romantic relationship or things like that, then you get to get really clear and figure out where in your mind or in your belief system you have something functioning that you're believing in that's actually causing you to attract that. Okay, so now we're going to go to something else that I wrote down that is a really great quote. So a lot of times you hear people say, I'll believe it when I see it. So you're telling someone about something, they're like, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Well, the truth is you'll actually see it once you believe it. So our mind actually is continuing to see things to prove to us what our belief systems are, right? So you're going to actually see it because you actually believe it. If you don't believe it, then it's never going to come into your awareness. Think about all the different things that are out there that are occurring. And then think about the things that come into your awareness, meaning the things that you actually pay attention to, the things that trigger you, which is another big one. Typically, if something triggers you or you're triggered by something, it's because it's functioning somewhere deep inside of you. So there's a saying called, if you spot it, you got it. Meaning if you spot that in someone else or somewhere else, that there's a part of you where that's actually functioning. So maybe you're judging or you're being critical of someone else because you're like, oh, he's so impatient, or she's so impatient, or he's so rude, or whatever it is that you are being critical and fault finding and judgmental of someone else. When you're pointing your fingers at someone else, you have 4 fingers pointing right back at you. So like I said, when it triggers you and you're actually seeing it in someone else, if you spot it, you got it. That's another great way to figure out maybe what's going on in your belief systems. Because, it's sort of like the mind is a map, and we require having certain tools and techniques to figure out some of these things because it's not always so easy. But when you become more conscious of being conscious and you can be aware of these kinds of things, it's a little bit easier to then say, maybe you do get triggered by something. I mean, yeah, it's not abnormal for it to happen, but then you can get clear on, well, why did that trigger me, right? You can figure out where did that come from. Then you get to get real with yourself. You get to turn within. You get to look within because all the answers are right here within, okay? Then you're going to get clear and go, well, that's probably why that triggered me because, and then you're going to see what story or what belief system or what illusion you have around that specific whatever it is, and you get to get clear with it. You get to figure out where it came from, lean into it, feel it, dissect it, diagnose it, analyze it, feel everything that's involved when it comes to that, whether you require crying or punching the pillow or doing some sprints, or maybe you require writing a letter to someone and giving them an apology. Maybe you require making a phone call. Like maybe you require doing something outside of your comfort zone that you have never, ever, ever, ever done before. And because you have not done it, that is why you would typically still be stuck. So it's 2017. You got a new gym membership. You bought some new gym shoes. You got a workout partner lined up, whatever you got going on. But because you believe you're unworthy to have a healthy, fit body, or whatever way you want to look at it, doesn't matter if you're fit or not, but because somehow or another you have some belief system that you're not worthy of it, you will find some way, my friend, to sabotage what you have planned because you haven't done the work. We require getting clear, peeling back the layers, getting in there and doing the work. And I promise you, it may not be the most fun thing to do, but is the most rewarding thing you will do for your entire life that will literally change the trajectory of your life, because that right there is actually how you change who you are, how you transform who you are, and how you transform your external world. Because like I already said, whatever's going on in your external world is just a reflection of your internal world. And when you start seeing it like that, it becomes very, very beautiful. You can realize that you require shifting something inside of you, and you will literally see it shift on the outside. It is a very, very beautiful thing. So feel my love and appreciation. Thank you so much, guys. Yes, I appreciate you ladies. Teresa and Carissa, thank you so much. So yeah, I'm just getting really hardcore into it tonight because it's flowing. So I'm feeling my feelings about all this, and I'm super enthusiastic about sharing this with other people because I didn't always know this. And I know once I learned it, I know how much it impacted and changed my life. And I choose to share this with other people. Yes, Ashley. Yes, Amy. Feel my love, beauties. So let's see. Also, too, everything exists according to the universal laws. It can be no other way. It's universal laws, okay? I'm not sitting here trying to say, you know, go get out your Bible and start reading. You know, this is more law-based. I mean, of course, there's scriptures that back this up, but this is law-based. In other words, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you believe in it or not, my friends. It's real. It's kind of like if you went to the top of a building and said, oh, but I don't believe in gravity, and you jumped off because you don't believe in gravity. Well, guess what? It doesn't matter if you believe in it or not, because when you jump off, obviously you know what's going to happen, right? So we require, you know, just understanding that we live in a law-based universe. And once you can learn these truths and these tools and techniques on how to hack your mind and then start focusing on what you choose to create and how to actually do it, you will see that life gets to be so fun and easy. And I promise you, when you start living your life like that and you're literally like effortlessly creating whatever it is because you believe in it, so now you start seeing it, you will just be like in awe. You will be like, it's just phenomenal. So I trust that you guys are feeling what I'm feeling right now, and that, you know, you are somewhat aware of some of the things that I'm talking about here. Of course, there are a lot of truth bombs in all of this, and especially a lot of you ladies who follow me for quite some time and, you know, watched a lot of my videos and been in my emotional detox challenge, etc., that you have picked up on a lot of this stuff. So Michelle says, moments going on here. Thanks, Minnie. You're welcome, sister. Yeah, feel my love, ladies. Thank you so much, Krista. So let me see. I choose to know, make sure I didn't have any other things I want to talk about. And then we're going to get into, okay, let's see. We're going to, now I just want to talk about really quick. Seriously, like, be less critical and judgmental of others, but especially of yourself. We require self-love in order to transform. So whatever it is that you're critical and you're judgmental or fault-finding about yourself, if you go look at yourself in the mirror and there's something that you don't like, or maybe you're just mad at yourself because you wonder why you have such a hard time being patient, you know, with your children or your divine partner, etc. You know, in other words, do yourself a favor, take some deep breaths, allow it, breathe, let it be okay. You know, give yourself permission to forgive yourself, whatever it is, recommit. Okay. So that's an affirmation right there. I give myself permission to forgive myself and I recommit to my health or whatever it is. Because honestly, guilt and shame, those are some of the lowest vibrational frequency emotions that we can feel. And we break down energetically and emotionally before we break down physically. So we require being really careful about what we focus on and what we think about. So say you slip up and you go, you know, eat a brownie or something, and then you beat yourself up all night long because you ate that brownie. And then you're already thinking about how can you wake up early the next morning to go run around the neighborhood because you're obsessed with the fact that you just ate that brownie. I mean, these things really happen. They happen to me too. Like it is not something that is above and beyond. We are all human beings. And I'm not sitting here saying I have it all figured out, but I can promise you that where I'm at right now is a lot further from where I used to be. And because I've learned all this stuff, I just choose to share it. I'm super passionate about it. So You know, like being judgmental and critical and negative and guilty and shameful and all those things is not serving you at all. So the first thing to do is that we get to love ourselves, because the more that we love ourselves, the more love we have to give and the more available we are to receive love. Because if you are blocked to receive love, it doesn't matter how much somebody tries to love you, you're not going to feel it. Okay. So if you've ever heard of the 5 love languages, it's pretty amazing. Check it out. Google it, the 5 love languages. I choose to know if that's exactly how the title goes. Yeah, the 5 love languages, or 5 languages of love. Anyhow, I'm pretty sure you'll find it, but it talks about how someone may be giving you love a certain way, but you actually receive love in a different way. So because of the fact there's miscommunication between the two parties, then essentially, you know, they don't really feel love from each other, etc. So I know it's really great for people in relationships and marriages, and I think it could serve anybody at any time in their life, of course, to just learn those truths. So, you know, first of all, it's all about, like I said, you know, the inner world, getting clear with that, self-love, etc. And did you know that your relationship with yourself actually sets the stage for all of your other relationships? Boom, mind blown, truth bomb right there. Like, your relationship with yourself actually sets the stage for all of your other relationships. So the more you can get real with yourself and get clear and strip back layers, like I said, I can't say that this stuff is easy, but we can choose to make it fun and easy, because this has been my life for the last probably 3 years or so. And it's been, you know, somewhat of a roller coaster, but it's been such an amazing, beautiful journey. And like today, I posted earlier because I was curious to know, like, if you guys, you know, give me one word to describe 2016. And of course, I read everybody's comments and everything. And, you know, mine is transformational. I really believe that this year, for me, 2016 has been, you know, really a year of beautiful transformation in so many areas. So, you know, don't be fearful of these things, guys, you know, and I've shared this before, but it's really like Pandora's box. And once you take the lid off and you start getting down deep into there, and all the things that are potentially occurring and going on in your belief systems, etc., you know, it's going to bring up some stuff. It's going to bring up some emotions, and you're going to be required to deal with that stuff. And honestly, it's like, once you take the lid off, then you just require to keep on dealing with it, because when you learn these truths, like the things I'm sharing with you guys, when you learn these truths, it can really just be no other way. Because, you know, in terms of spirituality, you know, we're led through our physical life and our physical existence here on this earth to become what we were created for, right? So we were created for a specific purpose and a reason. Every single one of us that's here on this earth, we were all created for something specific. So the more that you are raising up in your levels of consciousness and in awareness, the more that it can become clear about, wow, I can take my mess and turn it into a message, you know, and that the gift is always in the shit. And I just said a cuss word, and it's true, because whatever it is that's so hard and so challenging and so traumatic and so difficult that we're scared to look at, that we're scared to feel, that we're scared to talk about, you know, like think of a deep, dark cave. Whatever we're fearful of that's in that cave is exactly what we require getting clear on and dealing with. And what the beauty of it is that once we do that, that is when there is a shift. So the gift is in the shit, and we require getting seriously into that to then make the shift. Okay, so there's a difference in those two words, but one kind of leads to the other, so it's super cool. So let me make sure there's nothing else. Oh yeah. So the other thing I was going to say is that your mind is either a prison or a palace, and that our mind sees things in images, okay? So the more that we repeat our thoughts and our beliefs in our head like a personal mantra, the more that we are continuing to shape our lives. So that's why it's really, really important to get clear. And I have a really amazing, beautiful meditation that I found on YouTube. I choose to remember who shared it with me, but I've been listening to this for probably like 2.5, 3 years. Maybe I found it. I choose to remember, but it is super amazing. And I've shared it with a lot of my girls. I'm going to post it below this video tonight when I finish, but it's a YouTube video. It's meant as a meditation to do at night before you go to bed. You put the earphones in. You can maybe put the sound not too loud, because if you fall asleep, that's great. It's still going to be absorbed into your subconscious mind. So I'm going to actually add the link to that meditation, because it really is amazing. And, you know, I just recommend that you guys take time to meditate. So I want to ask that question right now. Comment below if you actually meditate, if you take time at night before you go to bed, or anytime during the day, or first thing when you wake up. And prayer and meditation are very similar. So whatever word you choose to insert, but do you take time to do that? You know, like, and if you don't, then I highly encourage you to do so, because we require, you know, once again, we have the subconscious mind that has the belief systems, which are really thoughts that we just keep on thinking. And when you start doing certain things like manifesting, doing affirmations and decrees and things like that, you can start rewiring what's going on there in the subconscious mind so that you can start creating your life differently. Yeah, Carissa says, yes, Kelly Howell. Exactly. That's the one that I'm going to be sharing. Ashley says, I have not. I need to do it. I pray a lot. Okay. Yeah, that's great too. Teresa says, yes, prayer. So there's a little bit, I mean, I can't necessarily say there's a difference because there's no right or wrong. Okay. But the meditation aspect of it, you know, it's really essentially in a way the same thing, because when we pray for something, we're praying and we're in expectancy that we're believing for something for ourselves. And also in meditation, it's very similar, you know, whether you're saying it out loud, you're saying it to yourself, you're envisioning and visualizing things. So whatever works for you. But, you know, the main thing is that you're really feeling it. You're not just, you know, because a lot of times people think that meditation has to be that you quiet your mind. And that's essentially the goal that you're trying to get into. But that also can be very challenging for someone that's first starting out their spiritual practice. So another way to do that is that you just literally take some time. You take some time to get, you know, really quiet. Maybe you play some like meditation music or something like that, or some nature sounds or something in the background, but you take your time to get really quiet and get some clarity on whatever it is you're choosing to create. Meaning, you know, if you're having challenges, you know, with fertility, then you are envisioning yourself pregnant. You're envisioning yourself having another child. You're envisioning another child running around the house. You know, whatever that looks like for you. I mean, you can use your mind because it is so powerful to really create anything. So whatever it is, you're going to start focusing on it. And that's really the point of meditation. So once again, I'm going to share that video with you guys as something really amazing that you can start using. Like I said, I've been doing it for a while now. And then of course, always you can search on YouTube very easily for other, you know, meditation videos and stuff like that. Also, I mentioned it yesterday in the Challenging Your Belief Systems video about the app. It's called Blip Blip, or there's one called a Chime app, or you can just use your phone, right? You can just set the alarm on your phone, but about every 30 minutes or maybe an hour, whatever, you know, resonates with you, that you have an alarm or a reminder of something that will take you back into alignment, to allow you to take a break, stop what you're doing, take some deep breaths, get your clarity, get your focus, be thankful and grateful for your life. And I know also too, like Joel Osteen and Louise Hay, they have some things you can sign up for where, you know, they send you alerts and things like that to your phone. So just do some research on that and figure out what resonates with you. But those are really beautiful things. So once again, I'll be sharing the YouTube meditation that I love so much. And I listen to it at night before I go to bed with headphones, and I usually just fall asleep to it, and it's wonderful. So, now we're going to talk about, once again, the fact that it is a new moon and how amazing that is. And we're getting ready to go into 2017. So the new moon is a great time to set new intentions for what you're choosing to create moving forward. I'm going to take a quick glance at the comments. Michelle says, getting in detox bath now. Keep bringing on the good nuggets. Yeah, you go, girl. Awesome. Amy says, I have not been because I was always afraid, not really knowing what to do. I'm always afraid that I pray wrong. Okay, beauty. Well, I'm going to give you some support in that, because there really is no right or wrong. There's no way to pray. Think about how amazingly beautiful our earth is, our world is, our universe is, and each soul and being on this earth is. And our creator, he's just as amazing and magnificent and divine and beautiful. However you look at it, God, creator, source, universe, stars, spirits, whatever works for you, insert it there. But there is no wrong way of doing that. Yeah, so I'm going to support you more in that, Amy, if you choose. Teresa says there's no such thing. Amen, Teresa. I just now see that. Okay, great. Yeah. Awesome, ladies. Feel my love. So we're going to support you in that for sure, Amy. And then Samuel says, new moon, new year. Thank you so much for being on the live video, Samuel. I met Samuel in St. Augustine. Super awesome guy. I appreciate you so much. So feel my love. And yes, new moon, new year, 2017. So once again, this is really a pivotal moment. Okay. So whether you believe in it or not, this is not foo-foo. This is the real deal. When you get spiritual and you start understanding that there's a bigger purpose and a reason for your life and why you're here, and that you're not just these flesh and bones, etc., that you are here for more of a reason and a purpose, that you are actually a spiritual, energetic being having a human experience. So tonight, once again, is the new moon. It's a great time to set some new intentions for yourself going into 2017. And for me personally, the best way to do that is that you take out a piece of paper and a pen, you write down those new intentions on what you're choosing to create, you get really clear on what those are, and go into nature if you possibly can, depending on where you live, if it's super cold there or whatever. Someone earlier said it was like 30 degrees below, so she was not going to go outside. I was like, I understand. So, but if you can, go outside. Get into nature, take off your socks and shoes, sit down on the ground, get in the grass, get dirty, all that's good stuff. Did I share in that video yesterday, earthing? I choose to remember, I think that was in the Emotional Detox Challenge group, but I talked about earthing and the benefits of, you know, sitting actually in nature on the earth, and the benefits of how it balances out your body. Let's just keep it short. And it's so beneficial for you. It strengthens your immune system. It balances out your body because we are subjected to so much, you know, pollutants and toxins and electromagnetic frequency waves from the TV, the tablet, the computer, the microwaves, the even the home phone, the TV, whatever you got going on, right? There's stuff bombarding us from all areas. So when we can sit down in Mother Nature, do some grounding, do some earthing. If you don't know what that is, just go to Google. Google is our best friend. Google earthing, Google grounding, and the benefits of it. But there's so many benefits. It actually, they say even within like 1 minute that they actually are able to, with like studies and research they've done, they've been able to prove that even just 1 minute out in nature is beneficial for the human body. So it does something where it strengthens the immune system so many times over. I choose to remember the exact details, but it's good stuff. So, so going outside, getting barefooted, sitting down in the grass or wherever you are, the beach or whatnot, and you're going to take your list and you're going to read over your list, and you're really going to read it with intention and, most importantly, belief that you can, my friend, you do have the power, that you are a limitless being, infinite, unlimited being, and that you, my friend, have the power to create anything it is that you're choosing to create, only if you believe, right? So if you believe it, you will see it. So you're writing those things down. I'm actually going to use my little happiness chakra candle. It smells amazing. And I'm going to, I just want to smell it real quick. I'm going to light the candle up. I'm going to read over my intentions, and I'm really going to get all into feeling my feelings and the excitement of everything I'm choosing to create for my life. And then I actually am going to take the piece of paper, put it over the candle, and let it start on fire. And then that's even beautiful in itself, to look at the fire and the flames burning. And then the smoke comes up, and you're looking at that and thinking of it as if that is your intentions, going up in smoke and going out there into the world and into the universe. Another way of solidifying, you know, that you're able to release those things and believe and know and trust that those things can come to pass. So it's really all about the mental awareness and the ability to focus and concentrate on whatever it is we're choosing to create. So once again, we are like 65 to 75% water. So the gravitational pulls and the effects that it has on our physical body. So when you go and you sit down on the earth, there's benefits in that as well. So the electromagnetic frequencies are really strong in the new moons and the full moons. That's another reason why it's amazing to do your new moon or full moon ritual and your earthing and everything at the same time as you're outside in nature grounding. So grounding or earthing. So I trust that this information has really supported you guys. I choose to know how long. I've been on here almost an hour. I think at one point I added in a whole lot more information that I wasn't choosing to share originally, but I just was inspired to do so. And once again, I just trust that it has supported you guys in some way. So if you choose, you can feel free to share this video on your timeline. Obviously, you can comment below. I'll get back to you. You can always send me a private Facebook message as well. I'm here for you guys and for your support. And I just trust that you're going to have some really awesome intentions that you're going to create for tonight, and that all that is going to manifest for you in 2017. And that you, my friend, are going to step into your full power, realize that you are an unlimited being with limitless potential to create whatever it is that you choose to create, okay? And that the more that you focus on that and you believe that truth, once again, it is the truth, okay? That is the only thing that really is the truth. So the more that you can lean into that and believe that about yourself, the more that you can start transforming your life. So feel my love and appreciation for each and every one of you, especially for taking time to be on the live video. And I will obviously be catching up with you guys soon. And yeah, just feel my love and appreciation, and I will chat with you all later. Bye, guys.